Uh-huh.
technology. But we're finally alive, so that's good. And how much time do we have?
Oh, I'm open. Go for it.
Okay, all right, good. I
I
want to
know
make
you like
sure.
to talk.
Okay, no worries. That's good. And so today, where I'm here with Dr. Yvette McQueen, and I'll have you give you an introduction in just a bit. But she's a medical doctor, and I know everyone wants to travel and everyone's excited because we have a vaccine, but there's so many questions. And so I thought, you know what? Let me have her on and to answer some of the questions you have. So hopefully you guys will pop some questions in, and then we can figure out how we can do this. And I'll try to figure out how to find your questions when you pop them in. So Dr. McKeon, why don't you go ahead and just give us an introduction and tell us who you are, and so we're more familiar with you.
Okay. So my name is Yvette McQueen, MD. I am an emergency physician and travel doctor, a global physician on a mission to educate about health, travel wellness, and disease prevention. So I travel around the United States and Caribbean working in emergency departments. I am a travel concierge physician. I help travelers to stay well and healthy with consultation, books, tips, and etc.
Excellent. Well, thank you. And so Dr. Bessa traveled all over the world. And I think where were you last?
St. Croix, the U.S.
St.
Virgin
Croix.
Islands.
Yeah. So basically, whenever there's a shortage somewhere, she goes in and she fills that void. So who knows?
You may see me.
You may see her, but we hope that you don't see her, because if you see her, then it means something is wrong.
You're in emergency department, right? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, Dr. McQueen, we have a virus or two. I mean, another virus. We have a vaccine or two or three. We have one virus, well, one that's driving everybody crazy. And for first, how many vaccines do we have available to us right now?
Right now, to the actual public, none of them. So there has been several different trials, and the ones that have met the standards to make it effective right now, the two that we're banking on right now are Pfizer and Moderna.
Hmm.
Pfizer was the first one to come out. So,
Okay.
and both of their vaccines are the same. And you'll hear that they're mRNA. And everybody think, oh, RNA, is that like my DNA? No, it's totally different. It's just reading basically the cell membrane code is the RNA. So
Okay.
the Pfizer one had a trial, and they went to their step 3 trials of participation, and they finished, and it was 95% effective. And they got the approval of the FDA and CDC, and that's the one that's out today. And the
Okay.
second one that is coming out is Moderna, that's similar. They're to have their meeting with the FDA this Thursday, the 17th. And then from there on, they also, I think there was like 93, 94% effective, which is about the same, which is like wonderful because some of the flu vaccines are only like 70% effective. So
Okay.
yeah, so they're very excited about both of those.
All right, that's good. So you mentioned RNA, and one of the questions I had just before coming on here was somebody was saying this vaccine is going to change our DNA when
Oh
it
my
gets
God.
injected in our body. Can you explain what's that, if that's true, or I don't understand RNA, DNA. I'm an aviation guy. I don't know medicine.
Okay. Okay, let's see. I was just trying to share it to my page so people can see it too. Okay, there we go.
Oh, good,
All
good,
right.
good.
Um, so the difference is, let me get a little bit light, more light. Uh, the window. Oh, great. Okay.
Okay.
So so our body, everybody think of the DNA and you see that double coil thing, and then you say, oh, my DNA, what makes you up? That is your genetics. It makes you up. RNA, which is similar, but it gives a code for like the membranes. So, and it's the RNA of the cell membrane of the virus. So,
Okay.
COVID is a SARS virus, SARS. You'll hear that, SARS virus. And you can go back 10 to 12 years when there was a SARS outbreak. There was a MERS outbreak, MERS, the Mediterranean one. And they were all respiratory viruses that outbreak. They did not become pandemic. They ended up being localized to the area. Some of it was travel, but it did not become a worldwide outbreak.
Okay.
So back then they had said, well, let's see if we can find a vaccine for the MERS and the SARS. So the mRNA actually had been started like 10 to 12 years ago, the research, but they didn't have the money for the research. They didn't have the volume of patients to try it out on. So when COVID came along, they said, oh, well, let's take the foundation we already had from years ago, add the spike protein from the COVID, and see if we can make a vaccine from it. And that's where that vaccine came from. It is not a live virus that they're giving you. It is not live. The vaccine is not live, and it does not rewrite your DNA. It does not. What it does is it go in and say, this is what this virus looks like, the cell membrane look like. So it takes the protein from the cell membrane of the virus of COVID and says, this is the coding for it. And your cells should know it. So the vaccine, so your immune cells say, oh, that's foreign in my body. That's the code for it. That's what the vaccine does. So if you are exposed to it, your immune system, which has what we call memory cells, come and say, I remember him. He's not supposed to be here. Let's go get him.
Okay. Okay.
That's what the mRNA and RNA does.
So it's not changing my DNA.
No.
When I go to see a doctor or a nurse or someone, they poke me in the arm and press the thing. I'm not getting. It's not changing my DNA.
No, it's not changing who you are. It's not changing you. And when it says M, the M in front of RNA lets us know that it's the membrane. It's a membrane code. So if you go back to early biology days, you have I wish I could draw it. something round, and it looks like an egg yolk in the middle. That's the nucleus.
Okay.
If you go back from biology days. So what keeps a cell contained is a membrane. And it's just telling the code of that membrane. So it's almost like computer coding what that membrane is made of. And that's what we say, that the COVID is an RNA virus. So the humans are DNA, and then bacteria and viruses are RNA that tells us. So COVID is an RNA virus, and it's very unstable. So that's why they say washing your hands with soap and water will kill it. It makes it unstable. It breaks its membrane down and it kind of explodes. It's like when you take an egg yolk and it explodes and it loses its form. That's what happens to the virus, and then it's no longer there. That's why it technically is easy to destroy, but it hasn't, because the host, which is us, won't let it go away.
Okay. So then, should I be scared to get the vaccine?
No. No, please don't. Okay, so this vaccine has been tried, and everybody's saying it was done fast. So it was not. It was done faster than normal because there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy, whatever, right? to make a vaccine. So when we make a vaccine, if you think a linear line, it's a linear line. So, we got this problem. Let's make a vaccine. Let's research it. Let's study it. Let's wait a good 6 months, 2 to 3 months. Let's see what's going on. Okay, now let's go get approval. Let's wait for the meeting for the approval with the FDA. Okay, now we can produce it. That's going to take another 6 months to produce it. So you're now like into 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
What they did was they stacked it. They stacked it. Instead of being linear, they stacked it. They're like, okay, we already had a foundation. We're doing it, we research, and we got the population of people that wants to study. So they had 30,000 patients. It's so hard to get 30,000 patients for a study, but they have it now because it's a pandemic. So they did it, they made it, and they did it, and they had the study. And while they was waiting for the results of the study, they said phase 1, 2, and 3, they have to wait a few months for the study after people first get it. They actually start producing the vaccine. They took a risk in producing the vaccine, not knowing the results, because if the results had came out negative, they would have had to destroy all that product and lose money.
Gotcha.
So that's why when they get the results, they'd be like, okay, now we can go to FDA. FDA didn't wait 4 or 5 months to talk to them. They're like, okay, let's talk to you next week. We're ready to talk to you. CDC, we're ready to talk to you. And that's when they talk. That's what they talk about, fast track. And so that's why the vaccine is out today. No, you should not be afraid to take it. No.
Okay, good. Thank you.
As soon as I can get it, I'm. You would think I would be in the front line, but I mean, I have to arrange to get it. Some people are getting it today. The thing is also the shortage. It's going to be a shortage of it, and it is just going to. So sorry about that. When the Moderna comes out, and I know it's going to come out, that's going to be extra they get. But see, the United States only bought so much of the vaccine ahead of time. So you guys remember, these are private companies. Pfizer is a private company. So Pfizer was like, we're making this vaccine and we're coming out. So you have to pre-order. You know how you pre-order stuff? If you have a certain soap and you'd be like, oh, it runs out all the time, let me pre-order it. Right. That's what they did. They pre-ordered the vaccine. So that's why UK got it first. And, because they pre-ordered it. Everybody pre-ordered it. The Germans are using, I forgot the one they're using, Germans. They're using one from somewhere else, though. They're not using a Pfizer one. But they pre-order it. And so Pfizer's like, well, the United States only pre-ordered so much. So this is all we have for you.
Okay. Because I guess they have other customers worldwide who also want the virus for their citizens. So so who's paying for this? I mean, Okay, so when the vaccine comes out and I need to get a vaccine, I guess am I gonna, when it's my turn, am I gonna go to my doctor or do I go to the pharmacy and
Well, they're saying it's gonna be at no cost, even though if they actually, just like the testing is no cost right now. They may ask you for your insurance information, but they don't charge you. For when it comes out to the general public, hopefully they'll have it like the flu vaccine, either at the health department or any of the chains like CVS, Walgreens, or something like that. Yeah. And we don't expect that to happen till like March or April. Now, the thing with it, you got to say track is a 2-dose one. All of them are 2-dose except for the one being made by Johnson & Johnson. And we don't expect that one to come out until maybe March or April or June, because they're just starting their 3rd phase of their trials. So you take your first dose and don't mix them up. Don't say, I'm going to take 1 dose of Pfizer and 1 dose of Moderna. Don't do that. You take 1 dose of Pfizer and then you wait 21 days and take the 2nd dose. They say after the first dose, within 10 days, you may be about 50 to 60% covered. But once you get that 2nd dose, 21 days later, that's when you're in that 95%. It does not mean you won't get COVID, just like the flu. It just means that if you are exposed to it and you get it, then you either have less symptoms and it won't be as deadly.
Okay. So you said quite a bit there.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I wanted to go back to well, first let me say you're welcome, Casey, just getting some comments, and you're also welcome, Sandy. Thank you for coming in, and please share if you can, or if you have questions, just pipe them in there. So we basically have, just kind of a recap, we basically have three vaccines. Johnson & Johnson is not out yet, probably going to be March or so next year. We've
It's
got the
actually 5 or 6 vaccines out there.
okay, all right, but the ones that everyone is talking about is the Pfizer, the Moderna, and the Johnson & Johnson, I guess, in essence, so far.
So far.
So far. And the Pfizer and the Moderna, they're both 2-dose vaccines.
Right.
So which means you have to take one and then you're going to go and you're going to take one and then you wait how many days?
21 days.
21 days and you have to go back and get one. So do I have to go exactly 21 days or can it be, oh, I'm busy, I can't go?
Please go 21 days.
Okay. All right. Do I have to go back to the same place that I got the
Yes.
first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it's your record where you keep, just like you go back to your same doctor. You know,
Okay.
how if you go to a different place, how they know you really had, you can say, oh, just give me a dose because I really had it 3 weeks later. And they'd be like, we don't know that.
Okay. And I guess they will know which one you got because I'm not going to have any idea which one I got. I just know I got a vaccination, but I don't know which one.
Yeah, hopefully. I heard they're going to give you, you remember we used to have those yellow cards for
I still have mine.
vaccines, yeah, like for yellow fever and polio and all that. Hopefully they give you a little card, or maybe they'll make it electronic to show which one you have.
Okay, all right, that's good. It sounds like it's gonna be. Oh, hi Jessica, thank you for joining from Melbourne, Australia. I hope things are good there. It sounds like it's gonna be confusing from a patient perspective, right? Because so I go to my local CVS and I get the vaccine there. And just so you know, the COVID testing, they're still charging people for the COVID test. So it's there are some places because it's like 120, 140, 180. Yeah, and even the ones that you do, the ones that Walgreens does it, the at home thingy, they charge you for that.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they charge you for that.
I've been having, I have to have it for work and at least once a month, and no.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So a lot of this stuff that's supposed to be done aren't not really being done
I guess it depends
the
on
way
the
it needs
area
to.
too. You need to look in the area because
Yeah.
we are
So
in two different.
I'm hoping with the vaccine, whenever you go, you won't be charged. You shouldn't
Right.
be charged because they've already gotten paid for it. And everyone is it's not like if I get 2 shots, it's not going to make me any better, right? Actually, it might make me sicker if I get 2 shots instead of the 1 shot I'm supposed to get. So I need to make sure I go to one place, get 1 shot, wait 21 days, and go back to the same place and get another shot.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so I've taken the vaccine. I've taken the first shot. I've been good for 21 days. Do I have to quarantine for 21 days or what do I do
No.
within?
So once
Okay.
again, they're not giving you the virus. Don't think they're giving you the virus. They're giving you a vaccine so that your own immunity can build up against the virus. So you don't have to quarantine, but you still need to do the same things you need to do. Put on a mask, wash your hands, distance. You still got to do that.
Okay. So nothing has really changed except that my propensity to catch the virus has been lowered.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So hopefully once the general population ends up getting the hope, you've heard the term herd immunity before, where if people around you are vaccinated or immunized, you also are kind of protected. It's like someone forming a group, but at least 75% of the population needs to do that. And that's not going to occur to probably the fall of 2021. If
Wow.
people
Okay.
take it. So I want people to take it because that's the whole thing. If everyone's taking it and 75% of the people around me has taken it, then I'm also covered too. Well, I'm gonna take it too, but yeah.
Yeah. So so I've taken the vaccine, I've done my 21 days, and I've taken the other one. How much longer until I'm fully immunized after that 21 days?
10 days.
10 days. Okay. So within 31 days, just about a month, once I take the vaccine, I should be immunized from
Right.
COVID-19.
Right.
But I'm still gonna have to wear a mask even after that 31 days. Still need to wash my hands. Still need to do everything I've been doing before I got all
Right.
that.
Until they lift it. And I'm just gonna throw it out there. We don't know how long the vaccine lasts.
Oh, but thank
You
you, Vet.
sorry. Yeah, this is, and I always call COVID a baby. This is an 11-month-old baby, or actually, it's a 1-year-old because it was discovered December 2019. It's a
Right.
1-year-old baby, so we don't know how it's going to act. Like we know if you take the MMR or the measles, mumps, and rubella, the effectiveness of that vaccine is about 35, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We know that each strain of the flu virus is every year. We know that the pneumonia vaccine covers you for about 5 years.
Okay.
But those have been studied over time, long time. So, I mean, years,
Right.
60, 50, 70 years. This is a 1-year-old baby. We don't know what COVID is doing. We just finally getting a handle of how to treat it, how it was transferred, and now we got a virus of it. So we now got to see how it's going to act with the virus.
You mean
I
the
mean,
vaccine?
sorry, with vaccine.
That's okay.
Yeah, now how it's acting with vaccine. Yeah.
Okay. So then, if I get vaccinated, can I travel? Should I travel?
Okay. Well, what country are you going to? So
It
there's
depends on where.
So I've seen there that some countries are going to require people to have the vaccine, and that's why I'm thinking that they would make it electronic so you can carry it on your phone. You may still have to do the PCR test, which is the swab for. So some countries I've seen said if you have the vaccine and you have a negative PCR, you don't have to quarantine when you land. That's
Oh,
maybe
okay.
the difference, because right now some of them say even if you have a PCR test, you still got to quarantine until you get a second negative. So, but yeah, so if you can show you have the vaccine, they might be less likely to make you quarantine. Now, just
Okay.
because you have the vaccine does not mean you're not a carrier and can't give it to someone else.
Oh, geez, if these, Dr. Yvette. I thought this was going to be easy.
No, this is not easy. This is not easy. That's not what the vaccine was for. The vaccine was to stop all the deaths.
Okay. So you're saying that it's like if I'm a carrier and don't know it and I've been vaccinated against COVID-19, I can still pass it on to somebody without knowing it?
Well, if you're a carrier, you're probably positive. They'll still swab you because they'll swab you and you're positive, then you know.
Okay.
That's what I mean by the asymptomatic person. That's a carrier. Asymptomatic. Yeah.
So the asymptomatic person, although you have a vaccine, can you still pass it on to someone?
If you're positive.
Oh, okay.
If you're
All right.
positive.
I see Casey says none of this is easy. There are no quick fixes. Yeah,
No.
Casey, but I was hoping.
There's a quick fix. You know what? Get in a time machine and go back to
2019, January?
or 2018.
2018.
2018. Because it probably keep people are coming up with these stories about it. They think that it was around before then, but we don't know. But yeah.
Oh, wow. So,
Yeah.
what other rumor have you heard that you'd like to dispel about vaccines and even COVID-19 itself?
Oh, well, the rumor is that one, that you does not rewrite your DNA. It does not get into your DNA, change it.
Okay.
So don't believe that. The other one is the 2-dose one. Don't take 1 dose and say that's all I need. I'm 50% effective. No, you want to be 95%. I would, someone offer me something, I want 95% of it. I don't want 50% of it.
Right.
So just take the second dose because there's been story out that some states, won't name them, have said that, oh, well, to spread around to all the people, we'll just give everybody 1 dose. No, you need one.
Okay.
What other myths about COVID? Just just some of the treatments of it, the myths, and if you are it. So I'm just gonna go the way I tell people. You need to wear
Mm-hmm.
a mask. Oh, where I don't even have a mask here, and I'm in. Um, oh, they're all downstairs.
Oh,
But
okay.
mask.
I don't have one handy either. And it's over your nose, right? Because I see
Over
lots of
your
people.
nose, please, people. Over your nose. Yes.
Yeah.
Over the nose. Don't wear it down here. Don't wear a chin guard. Don't wear it here. Because I was on an airplane last week and people were getting on, and the flight attendant kept saying, please pull your mask up over your nose because it's, it likes, that's why you get the swab up your nose because that's where it's going to be. You breathing, you snotting, you can pass it on that way. Um,
Okay.
so once again, regular soap and water will kill the virus. So that's why it does. It can be on some surfaces, yeah, but it doesn't live on surfaces, particularly hard and soft surfaces, that long. Like in the beginning, we all thought spraying everything down and wiping everything down. It's good enough if you touch something, soap and water. Use hand sanitizer if you don't have that. If you're out in public, stop. Don't try to touch your mouth, your eyes, your nose, even your ears, because you can, as long if it gets inside you. That's what we worry
Uh,
about. It also
okay.
is about and when it comes to exposure, because you've probably heard people like, I've been around someone positive, but I was negative. It's what we call a viral load. How
Mm-hmm.
much exposure did you really have with that person? If you lightly passing it, will you get it? The chances are low if you're around that person, breathing with them. And that's why indoor eating is, they're saying don't do it, because you're eating, you have your mouth and nose open, but you're there for a long period of time in the circulating air.
Okay. I mean, but there are, I guess, like like Texas, the restaurants are open, but they have limited capacity. Because I guess the thing you have to balance somehow is, how do you, is it the virus that's going to kill you, or is it not having income? So I think that's probably what
The
we
virus
what we're
is going to
trying to
kill you.
balance. Yeah.
Money never killed me. Maybe the
Yeah.
stress of not having money or worrying about my bills, but the virus will kill you. I'll tell you that much. That I do
Yeah.
know.
So I
As
think
sometimes say, you're gonna be in someone's ICU butt up.
I got
That
you.
means,
I
is
got you.
what we do is we prone people. So what we do is, to get more air, we lay people on their stomach. Most in the hospital, you usually just laying there on your back looking up.
Hmm.
With COVID, we have to lay people on their stomach face down so that we get more oxygen in them that way.
Oh wow, interesting. And I guess the thing is that because I've seen a few people either online, and I know them, or I know them personally, that have it, and they have different symptoms, or some people get really really sick, and some people they have nothing. So
It's up to God.
yeah.
Sorry.
um
I mean, yes, they say elderly people over 65, pre-existing conditions, like heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, any cancer, immunocompromised, puts you more at risk because your immune system is already down. That's
Gotcha.
what puts you at risk.
Yeah.
But the young, healthy people, you look at the football player, and then they were young and healthy. Why did they die? We don't know. We don't know why it hits certain people a different way. We
Yeah.
don't.
Okay. Just to go back to the vaccine a little bit, side effects. What
Uh,
are the side effects of the vaccine? Who should
okay.
avoid it?
Yeah. So the side effects of the vaccine, the general side effects is a little redness, soreness where they inject you at.
Hmm.
Some people have said they've gotten an allergic reaction, and we think of allergic reaction is where you get rash all over your body, your tongue swell, your lips swell, and you can't breathe.
Hmm.
That is an emergency. Those are the ones that need to have EpiPen. And if you've had allergies to other vaccines, it just, you need to be aware, because it's not so much the vaccine, it's the additives or what they mix it in that you actually may be allergic to. You may, after the vaccine, just like with the flu vaccine, some people are like, well, I got the vaccine, I got the flu. No, you didn't. You just got some side effects, which is kind of that achiness, fatigue for like 24 hours after you get it.
Mm-hmm.
That some people, it's uncomfort, but it's not really a side effect from it. Now, the vaccine is not available for 16 and under. Anyone under 16, it is not available. They did not do studies on children. They don't know how it will affect children, and they're not giving it to children. Okay. It has not been studied in pregnant women. So if a woman is pregnant and they want the vaccine, she needs to talk to her physician, her OBGYN, to discuss it. Now, because they did the studies and some people became pregnant while they was in the study, but they don't have the studies of what it would do during pregnancy. And they say in the United States, there's 4 million births every year in the United States. That's a lot of pregnancies. Okay.
That is a lot of pregnancies.
Right. That's a lot of pregnancies. So you need to talk there. If you're pregnant and you want to consider the vaccine, talk to your doctor. If you're considered a person at risk, like if you are a nurse, doctor, working in the hospital front line and you're at risk, you're going to have to weigh out whether you want to risk COVID or it affecting your pregnancy. That's something. It has to be an individual decision.
Gotcha. So so basically, there is a vaccine. We're still gonna have to do whatever protocols we're doing now, even after you've had the vaccine, until
probably about the spring or until the summer or early fall.
Okay, so do we have to get revaccinated, do you think?
Don't know.
I guess because it's okay. And okay, then the other question too is we talked about I guess the amount of people that were sampled. Is it more than is normally sampled for a vaccine of this kind or a vaccine of any kind? Or is it about the same?
It's about the same.
Okay.
It was just, say, if they're sampling somebody for a vaccine, a new vaccine, it may take 2 or 3 years to get 30,000 people.
Okay, but like you said, because it was a pandemic, we had so many people. So those who are saying that you didn't test enough people and it was too short, that's not correct, because you did test enough people and you said you layered the processes on top of each other rather than making them lateral.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good to hear. Casey's saying she also read that people with autoimmune diseases or cancer should wait or consult their doctors. Right?
Yes, they should wait or consult their doctor. She's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I guess just to recap a little bit about how do I get the vaccine when it's my turn? I guess I could call my doctor, or do I go to the
every doctor will not have it because they actually have to register to be able to administer it. So especially if your doctor is an outlying doctor, not really connected with, so there's still some doctors not connected, like with the big university centers. I would check with the health department. So every city has a Department of Health. Go to their website and check it out, and they will give you the information about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay. And I guess people in other countries should do something similar to that.
Right. They're usually Ministry of Health, Department of Health, because I know, like in the Virgin Islands, where I sometimes work, they are planning to have 4 sites that have it. One is for the hospital, but it'd be the hospital for the hospital employees, but the public will have to go through the Department of Health. Okay. Or wherever. And once they go to the Department of Health, the Department of Health says, okay, these are the other 3 sites you can go to and register there. So.
Okay. All right. I guess I feel I think I feel more knowledgeable about it. I don't know if I feel better about it.
Well, by the time it comes to your term in March and April, there'll be actually over 1 million people that's had it, because they say, I forgot how many millions of healthcare workers there are. There's millions of healthcare workers, and we're supposed to have it. And
Yeah,
they're even strategizing the healthcare workers. So all healthcare workers aren't getting it originally. So they're hitting the ones that hit them first, like ICU people
right.
and emergency ones, and the ones that contact the people immediately. And then, of course, first responders, EMS, and then they're going to hit the staff at all the nursing facilities and senior citizens, and then they're going to get the senior citizens. So they've noticed that when you're in the nursing facilities or the nursing, the assistant living facilities, the they're getting it because the staff is getting it.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it is an airborne virus, right?
Yes, it is. Hold on for a minute. I'm sorry. This popped on.
No, that's okay. That's all right. So we're just here with Dr. Yvette McQueen, and we're talking vaccines, and she's just giving us some tips on, you know, what the vaccine is, how it was created, because a lot of people said it was created too quickly, and she's explaining that it wasn't created too quickly. It was actually done in a different fashion than we were accustomed to, but the processes that they follow are standard medical practices. So you were talking about the facilities just for seniors and things like that, and how people they were going to vaccinate the seniors because the people who are in the facilities are actually the ones that are giving the seniors the virus,
Right.
right?
So they're going to vaccinate their staff first, and then they're
Yeah.
going to come back and vaccinate the senior citizens.
Okay. All right. That's good. If you guys have any questions, just pipe them in. And if you missed the live broadcast, just go ahead and type a question in, and it'll more than likely tag Dr. Yvette, and she can answer
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can answer travel questions. I can't answer the medical ones.
So it's
Um,
going to be interesting with all the different countries that have the different vaccines and what they will allow you to do.
right.
Right. So that's going to be interesting, especially for your travel people. Like, if I want to go to Brazil, which one are they going to accept? If I go to Thailand, I don't even know if they even are using it. I haven't heard anything about the Southeast Asia group actually having a vaccine right now. So that would be interesting.
Yeah, right. I know some people were saying that they probably didn't get enough ethnicity in the vaccine test. Are you aware of anything like that, or can you speak on
Uh,
that?
they didn't have it in the beginning. I don't think when they first started phase 1 and phase 2, and phase 3 right at the tail end, they got a lot more. So I know, and I think, and they pushed for it. I mean, you
Yeah.
heard it. We need brown and black people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're
We
different.
people of color, and that's the other thing, because the people of color, particularly, the black population in the United States, was very
Hmm.
skeptical of any research because of previous histories of how we have been researched like an animal.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
mean that people bring up, of course, the Tuskegee Airmen with the syphilis study, but also all the GYN studies was from a black female that they took and dissected. I mean, while she was still alive. So
Wow.
all of those, right. So gynecological history is from a black female that they just basically abused and used. It's the Henrietta story. It's a long story. So we are very skeptical, saying, no, I don't want to be no guinea pig. I'm not your animal for you to do research on. So that's why they have it. But we need to know how things affect us, because we do have a different DNA makeup, and it may actually, it's killing us more. So
Hmm.
we should know how this vaccine is it gonna help us more or help us less? but you still should take the vaccine because it is better than nothing. I'm going to be telling you, I'm a physician, and when it first came out, at first you go, oh, well, it's this, but then as stories came in and it started hitting, I was scared to go to work.
Gotcha.
I was really scared to go to work. I was like, should I just leave medicine? That's how I started to feel.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, and thank you for going in and doing your part. Um, Meanwhile, I just stayed at home and did nothing.
No, you were doing something. I know you were. Well, the point is you stayed at home.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what it is? Like I'm from the aviation industry, and a lot of my colleagues and ex-colleagues had been affected because the airlines aren't flying anywhere and they got laid off and things like that. And so, they're always asking, well, now that we have a vaccine, should I travel? And when I travel, what do I do? And so basically, it's take the vaccine, make sure you take both doses, not just one dose. Of course, if something goes awry in between doses, always consult your physician and still wear your mask, still wash your hands, still keep your
Right.
surroundings clean because we're not over yet. And of course, you have to read all the travel restrictions of the different countries because if some of the countries require a vaccine to enter the country, then you're going to have it whether you like it or not. And
Right.
that doesn't mean that you are immune from this thing per se. It just
Right.
means you stand a better chance than somebody who's not.
Right. And check the countries where, if you go into a different country, you could go on any country health site, Ministry of Health, Department of Health, and find out what their numbers are. Find out the percentage of COVID, how are they handling it, and know their medical system. And that's not just with COVID. That's anytime you travel. I tell people when they travel to other countries, you don't know what their medical system is like. Okay. If you should
Hmm.
get sick there, if you should get sick there, can you be treated there? Will you need to be
Right.
airlifted from wherever? And you need to check this travel insurance. Some of this travel insurance has now a clause that does not cover it if it's related to COVID.
Yeah, so when the insurance thing first started, a lot of the companies, folded their hands and go, nope, we're not doing anything. Well, people stopped buying travel insurance at that point. So now what they've done is they've gone back and they've made some modifications, but you have to
Yeah.
read, like you're saying, to know exactly what it is. So I just thought of a thing. So like expats, who, they're citizens of one country but living in another country is that country going to take care of them for the vaccine, or do they have to come back to their country of origin to take the
I
vaccine? Do you
have
know?
no idea.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
Because I know a lot of people living in Mexico right now, and
Yeah,
if they get the vaccine, the thing is they'll probably have to pay for it, and I don't know if they
yeah,
cover it. And I know I have a few doctor friends that are working over in Africa. They got stuck there. Borders got closed. They're there.
right,
Um, so I don't know if they're covered or not. So if they have to come back to the United States to just get the vaccine, I don't know
right.
because I have a feeling that some countries are not going to get the vaccine until next year, 2022. You know how we are.
Yeah, and then it's going to be weird because you are taking away a vaccine supply from somebody from that country, and you're not from that country, although you live there.
Right.
Um, so. Yeah, I guess as we find out more, we'll let people know because
Yeah.
we both have lots of friends who are expats or people living in another country but from a different were born someplace else and they're not like a citizen of that country. I guess if you're a citizen of that country, it's a different story. But if you're not a citizen, then it makes it different. All right.
If you're over there working, I'm sure your employee will take care of you. Your
Yeah. Yeah.
employer, but if you're not and you're just living over there and you're independently living there, that is a good question.
Yeah. Hopefully some of the expats will chime in and let us know what
Yeah,
they're
that
hearing
would be interesting to know.
in their place. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What did you say? I missed it.
I said that would be interesting to know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions, and
Okay.
yeah, and I think I've talked your head off for about 45 minutes. So you've been listening to Dr. Yvette McQueen. And oh, before we go, can you tell people where to find you online?
Yes, so I am on Facebook and Twitter at Yvette McQueen MD. So Yvette McQueen MD, just like my name that's up there. You can follow me on Facebook. I'll give, wellness tips, health tips. I talk about this also, and of course, emergencies. On Instagram, I'm Dr. Travel 911. That's DrTravel 911. And of course, my website is YvetteMcQueenMD.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And when this is all over, I'm going to go and type that into one of the
Okay.
comments so you guys will be able to see that. But again, thank you so much. And sorry we had a little technical difficulties at the beginning.
That's life.
I now know how to use StreamYard properly. This is probably my second or third time using it. So thank you.
Because actually, yeah, once you get to it, you can actually, everything I said, you can actually type it in a banner. I've learned how to do the banners going across and things like that. So you can,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, there
yeah.
you go. Yeah. Well, when I was looking at it on the iPad, I think it was translating what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, but I think the echo thing was because I have like 10,000 windows open on my computer. And when we started, I was trying to close each of the tabs, but then I'm like, okay, that's not working. So I switched to
Okay.
the phone.
No problem. Well,
All
I'm
right.
glad I could be helpful to you and your audience. And hey, stay safe, put your mask on, wash your hands, 6 feet. If you
All
can't
right.
stay 6 feet, stay home.
There you go. All right, Dr. David. Thank you so much. And we'll talk soon.
Okay, peace and love.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.